Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Today I want to take a moment to talk about something really serious, something painful, and often forgotten. It's one of the darkest moments in our country's history, the mass rape of Chinese Indonesian women during the May 1998 riots. According to Kompas, this happened during a time of chaos in Indonesia. The economy was crashing and the government under President Suharto was falling apart. In just Jakarta alone, at least 168 cases of sexual violence were reported. Across Indonesia, the number was likely around 300 cases, but most victims didn't speak out. They were scared and deeply traumatized. Based on reports from Kompas and the joint fact-finding teams, the violence spread quickly after the three Sakti shootings. Protests turned into riots, and Chinese Indonesians became the main target. Shops were burned, homes were looted, and many women were raped. The humanitarian volunteer team, also known as TRAC, reported 168 victims of sexual violence, 152 of them in Jakarta and the rest in cities like Medan and Surabaya. More than 20 victims reportedly died or took their own lives because of what they went through. One brave person who stood up for the victim was Itamar Tadinata Haryono, a young student and volunteer. According to the Jakarta Post and Tempo, Ita helped many survivors and was even going to speak in front of the US Congress to share what happened. But just a few days before her trip, she was murdered in her home, stabbed to death. On October 9th, 1998, the police said it was a robbery, but many human rights groups believe it was something more, an attempt to silence her and hide the truth. What makes it even worse is that even today, there are still public figures who deny this tragedy ever happened. One of them is Fadlizon, who is now the Minister of Culture. In interviews shared by The Tick and Tempo, he said the May 1998 mass rapes were never proven and called them just rumors. But the facts say otherwise. The official report by the Joint Fact-Finding Team, supported by Komnas Perempuan or Indonesian National Commission on Violence Against Women, shows strong evidence. 52 confirmed rapes, 14 cases that include torture, and 19 other sexual assault. Komnas Perempuan confirmed that 168 women were victims, most of them were Chinese Indonesian. Denying this tragedy doesn't just hurt the victims, it's dangerous. According to researchers from LIVP and report by BBC Indonesia, this kind of denial erases our collective memory as a nation. Some survivors who were once brave enough to speak now choose to stay silent, maybe forever. Even worse, this denial often shows up right before national celebration, like people are trying to hide the dark parts of our history to make our country look good. But the May 1998 tragedy, it's not just about numbers, it's about people. It's about Indonesian women who were hurt both physically and emotionally. It's about Itamar Tadinata who stood up for justice and paid for it with her life. That's why I'm standing here today to remind us all. We must recognize that this tragedy really happened and that it's part of our national history. We must demand justice and protection for the survivors who are still with us. And we must say no to denial, because ignoring the truth is never the answer. Like a Compass editorial once said, a denied history will only deepen the wounds. When we forget, we leave the victims behind, and we let history be written without humanity. So let's not forget, let's remember and learn, so this never happens again. Thank you.